Today we are going to discuss the concept of multiplier developed by Keynes. So we have already discussed about Keynes employment theory, Keynes consumption theory and Keynes investment theory. By the time you might have understood that investment plays a very crucial role in Keynes' model of employment and income determination, because he felt that the lack of aggregate demand is one of the reason for unemployment. So he strongly advocated that investment has to be increased. When we increase the investment, income will go up. When income is increased, aggregate demand will go up, thus solving the problem of unemployment. So investment is really important for every model of Keynes. On the basis of that, Professor Keynes developed the concept of multiplier to establish a relationship between investment and resultant increase in income. It basically, multiplier is a concept wherein he believed that when there is an increase in investment, the resultant increase in income will be much more than that of the initial increase in investment. Suppose I am investing, just like the example in the slideshow, I am investing 5 crore, but it is not necessary that the increase in income which happens to the investment is just 5 crore. The ultimate increase in income which happen will be 20 crore. That means that 5 crore has doubled, or it 4 times it has multiplied itself, and the ultimate increase in income is 20 crore, right? That is 20 divided by 5 is that k is what we denote. Multiplier is denoted by k. So basically, the concept of multiplier gives us that what is the change in income that may result from the change in investment. Okay, so the ratio of final total increase in income to the initial increase in investment is considered to be investment or income multiplier by Keynes. According to him, the impact of expenditure on economy is bigger than that of the expenditure itself. Suppose a government expenditure is coming, government is doing a huge investment on roads. So it is not that, and that investment is about 100 crore project, and that doesn't mean that the income increase in income that happened through that investment is going to be just 100 crore itself. It may be doubled, it may be multiplied effect. How many times it increases is what we calculate through multiplier. How many times increase in income, or how much does the income increase is happening due to an increase in investment is shown through multiplier. So it is basically the final change in real income or final change in real GDP due to change in investment. Basically, the concept of multiplier was not originally given by Professor Keynes. It was given by Professor Khan. Khan. I have not mentioned it, but before Keynes, the concept of multiplier was brought by Khan. He used this concept in his famous article entitled "The Relation of Home Investment to Employment." So basically, he generated an employment multiplier, where he said that increase in employment would finally cause a manifold increase in total employment of the economy. He believed that a ratio of change of total increase in employment to the initial increase in employment is considered to be employment multiplier by him. That is, suppose the government is giving jobs, or there is a construction of school is happening, and for that construction 20 or 50 of the workers are being employed. It is not going to stop there. That initial employment is going to result in further employment as well, because for construction they have asked for 50 people to work there on the site. Maybe in the cement industry, another, because there is a demand for cement has increased, iron has increased. So in the respective other sectors also there will be increase in employment. So Khan, Professor R.F. Khan, investment or employment, his multiplier was basically an employment multiplier. The same concept was taken by Keynes, In the same fashion, Professor Keynes, in his General Theory of Income Output and Employment, in his book, he argued that an increase in investment in the economy would result in manifold increase in income. So there Khan concentrated on employment. Here Keynes concentrated on investment and its effect on income. Okay, so Professor Keynes termed this ratio of final total increase in income to the initial increase in investment as investment multiplier or income multiplier. And this is the concept of multiplier. So basically multiplier established relationship between investment and income. So another important feature of multiplier is that the size of the multiplier, how much does there is an increase in income, how many times does it create an increase in income, always depends on the value of MPC, that is marginal propensity to consume, which we have already studied. According to Keynes, multiplier and MPC exhibit a positive correlation with each other. That is, higher the MPC, higher will be the size of the multiplier and vice versa. That is, we have already studied that MPC plus MPS is equal to 1. That is, 1 is considered to be the total income in the hand of a consumer, and that income, how much does he spend on consumption and how much does he spend on saving, is what we are expressing at MPC plus MPS is equal to 1. That is, marginal propensity to consume plus marginal propensity to save is equal to 1. So the whole income will be divided between consumption and saving is what we studied. So what we are not consuming, we will save that. That is why MPS is equal to 1 minus MPC. That is, from the income, whatever after consumption what is left is being saved. Just like that, MPC is equal to 1 minus MPS. So this thing we have already studied, that what the relationship between MPC and MPS and how is it related to income in consumption function, we have studied that. K, that is multiplier, is equal to 1 by 1 minus MPC, or K, that is multiplier, is equal to 1 by MPS, because MPS 1 minus MPC is MPS, so it can be also denoted as 1 by MPS. So to find out multiplier of an investment, how much increase in income does it a project will bring, to find out that, we should understand the marginal propensity to consume of that investment or of a person, or how much does a person consume has to be understood, or even how much does a person save can also help us to find out multiplier. For example, suppose the multiplier MPC is 0.8 and income is 1. We know that income is 1, that is 1 means 100% income, and 0.8 MPC denotes that 80% of the income is spent for consumption. That is, only 20% of the income which is left after consumption is being saved. Okay, that is what MPC 0.8 means. 0.8 means 80% of, that is 1, total income is 1 and that is 100. From that, 80% is spent on consumption. So how to find out multiplier? Using the equation, that is K equal to 1 by 1 minus MPC, and we know what MPC is. So K is equal to 1 by 1 minus 0.8, which is our MPC, which comes as 5. That is, multiplying effect on the consumption is 5. Multiplier is 5 for this particular MPC. Okay, so this is the basic concept of multiplier, where Keynes developed a relationship between initial investment and the ultimate increase in income. Just like the word denotes multiplier, the word itself shows that Keynes meant that if there is an increase in investment, the changes in income will be more than that of the increase in investment. How much will be more is being shown through multiplier. Let's explain it with the help of an example. See, before starting the example, there are two assumptions which we have to see through is, one person's spending is another person's income. So I am spending, suppose we say that MPC is 0.8 percentage, that means 80 percentage of the income is being spent. So that 80 rupee is now income of another person, because we are spending it on the goods and services provided by that person. So when I spend, that spending becomes another person's income. That is what a circular flow of income shows us, right? So another assumption of multiplier is, what is passed on as expenditure is MPC, and what is not passed on or what is saved is MPS. And we know that how much do we spend, or how much do we spend on goods and services, and our expenditure is considered to be MPC, and how much leakage is happening from this circular flow of income is considered to be, how much is saved, that leakage is considered to be saved. So suppose I am getting 100 rupee and I am just spending 80 rupee, the rest of the 20 rupee is considered as leakage from the economy, because it is not reaching anyone. So there is a break in the circular flow because of 20 rupee. That 20 rupee is being saved by me. So what is not passed on to another person, that is saved, that is MPS. So to understand that, we will go through an example. Suppose there is a government expenditure. Suppose there is a government expenditure of building a school, and maybe the expenditure is worth rupees 100. Okay, and government is giving that money, like agent A. Suppose Anand is the agent here, and government is giving that 100 rupee through him. Maybe he is the contractor of that building or that school which the government wants him to build. So the whole 100 rupee is given to Anand, and MPC is 0.5. MPC 0.5 means from that 100 rupee, 50 rupee will be spent by Anand on consumption, right? So he has 100 rupee with him because government has done some kind of expenditure through him. He is the agent or he is the contractor. He has the 0.5 MPC is there for him, so he spent rupees 50 on consumption on goods and services which he buys from Philbin, okay, which he buys from F. Now what Anand is spending is the income of Philbin. That 50 rupees is transferred from Anand to Philbin through the purchase of goods and services. Anand is buying goods and services. When he buys, he has to give money. That money becomes the income of Philbin. Now income of Philbin is rupees 50. Again MPC is 0.50, that is half of the income will be spent by Philbin on goods and services. 50 ka half, it is 25. So 25 will be spent by Philbin on goods and services provided by Nikhil. Now that 25 is the income of Nikhil. The what Philbin is spending becomes Nikhil's income. That is what we said in our assumption. One person's spending is another person's income. Again here also MPC is 0.5. Nikhil also with that 25, he spends, there's 50% of that will be consumed or spent on goods and services by Nikhil, and this continues till it will reach a time where it becomes so much. Now already it is 25 ka half, again uska half, so it becomes so less that ultimately the multiplier effect start becoming zero. So this continues till it becomes zero. So when you take the total GDP or total income of the people in the country, you can see that initially it started from 100 rupee with Anand, so it is it is actually 100 plus, then the income of Philbin, then income of Nikhil when it comes in total. So that means just with 100 rupee of income which is being investment being done for one person, how it is carried forward by different people, and how the multiplier effect is being created is being shown through this example. Okay, so to calculate the multiplier effect here is K is equal to 1 by 1 minus MPC is what we have already studied, the formula to calculate multiplier. MPC, it is given 0.5 is the MPC. 1 by 1 minus 0.5 which comes to 2. That means there is 2 times that of increase in income has happened. Double. When there is an investment of 100 rupee, the increase in income which happened is double than that of the investment, is what we call multiplier effect. Again, this flowchart is another example for multiplier effect. I think you can go through and understand this. You can see that the government investment is for 3 billion euro or something, and first year it's been divided into 2 years, and the other side increase in GDP is also being measured. So when there is a investment of 3 billion by government, what happens? It is 2 billion is being given to the workers receive more income, and 1 billion is being received by the suppliers for the new orders. So when it is 2 billion for the workers will spend 0.5 billion will be spent by workers to demand certain goods and services. He may go to shop, he may go to pub or any other goods and services through demand. His demand, so his consumption is 0.5 billion. And again another type of consumption by workers is there is an increase in demand for transport and other utilities. So 0.2 billion out of this 2 billion is being spent on transportation as well. Again, so you can see that the whole 2 billion is not being spent by the workers. A certain part of it is being saved, only spent on the portion which has been spent on consumption by the workers from the 2 billion is like 0.5 and 0.2. that is only 0.7 is being spent on consumption, the rest is being saved. From the other side, which shows that suppliers receive new orders worth 1 billion, out of which again 0.2 billion is being spent on transportation and other utilities, and the 0.3 billion is being used by suppliers to employ more workers. So when you can see in the first year, when the government gave 2 billion and 1 billion it is distributed, so the total GDP of that year is 3 billion. When it came to the second year after the investment, you can see that the consumption is 0.5 plus 0.2 plus 0.3. that means it's just 1 billion. Okay, so in initial injection of investment is it comes to 3 billion, and when you calculate the increase in GDP, that is 3 billion plus 1 billion, it comes to 4 billion. Okay, and the multiplier effect here is 1.33. How do we get that? By change in investment by change in income. You can calculate and see 4 by 3, it will come to 1.33. Okay, so ultimate increase in income will be more. So there has been an investment worth 3 billion, but in economy, when it real increase in demand happened, it happened for 4 billion. That means 1.33 multiplier effect has happened here. The initial investment has multiplied and become 4 billion at the end of the second year. This is the concept of multiplier by Keynes.